Hello students, welcome to Geography class Standard 9th. The second lesson we have already started. It is about the endogenetic movements or the internal movements taking part inside the earth. We'll revise a little. The internal movements we have studied slow movements and sudden movements. We have also studied the effects of the internal movements, that is, formation of mountains, the types of mountains, the rift valleys, then the earthquakes and the volcanoes. The mountain building movements are also known as orogenic movements, whereas continent building movements are known as epiorogenic movements. The sudden movements that include the earthquake. You have read the news at the beginning of the lesson. The news tells about the earthquake that has occurred in Nepal. Now, how this earthquake has taken place? It occurred because of the sudden movements in the interior of the earth. As there is a tremendous tension in the earth's crust, when this tension goes beyond limit, the energy is released in the form of waves. This results in the trembling of the earth's surface. So this trembling is called as the quake. The earth quakes, so it is known as the earthquake. The magnitude or the strength of the earthquake is measured in Richter scale. How intense the earthquake was, we can know from the Richter scale. The instrument that is used to check the intensity of the earthquake waves is a seismograph. Here you can see a seismograph in the image and a seismogram that shows the intensity of the earthquake. Now, what causes the earthquake? First, moving of the plates. These plates are the continental plates. The crust of the earth is formed of plates. It is not a complete cover or it's not a complete layer. Here it is made up of different plates. And these plates are not stable. They float on the mantle. As these plates are moving continuously, they collide on each other. When they collide, there is a earthquake. Sometimes the plates slide one below the other. Even when there are fractures in rock layers due to a tension in the interior of the earth. As we know that the interior of the earth is highly unstable, the energy waves, they cause fractures in the rocks and the occurring of volcanic eruptions. When a volcano erupts, due to that shocks, the earthquakes are also caused. Now we'll see the waves that are formed due to the earthquakes. First are the primary waves. These waves are first to reach the earth's surface. The particles in the rocks due to these waves move to and fro. Then the secondary waves. They are the next to occur after the primary waves. Here the particles in the rocks move up and down. And the third set of waves is called as the surface waves. These are generated after primary and secondary waves. They travel all along the circumference of the earth, and so these are the most destructive waves. Here you can see the focus, the epicenter and the different waves. Now you can see the focus from where the primary and the secondary waves start. From the focus, the perpendicular on the surface of the earth, you find the epicenter. So epicenter is the place on the surface of the earth where the earthquake occurs. The primary waves, how they move? They move towards the surface and the particles in the rocks move to and fro. And due to this, before collapsing, the buildings move to and fro during an earthquake. And the surface waves, the most destructive, they spread all over the circumference of the earth. Now they cover the area according to their intensity. And so the surface waves are the most destructive waves. You have seen the image of the earthquake. See the effects of the earthquake. We have seen a number of images that show the earthquakes. Here we find there are cracks or fractures developed on the ground. There are landslides. Sometimes the groundwater changes its course. That means the wells may not get water or they may dry up. Some areas get uplifted while some areas may subside. Now, due to these tremors on the earth, there are tsunamis generated in the oceans. These tsunamis also cause a great loss of life and property. In the snow-covered areas, avalanches may occur. Buildings collapse and loss of life and property occurs. The transport and communication system also gets disrupted. Now we see the volcanoes. In the previous part we have studied about the volcano. Now we'll check the volcanoes according to their eruption, the types of the volcanoes. Here you can see two images. The first one is the central or the conical volcano. Like a pipe-like structure is developed inside a conical mountain. And the hot lava comes out from this pipe or a vent. And so it is called as a central vent volcano. Now when this lava comes out, it spreads all over the mountain slopes and thus the mountain turns into a conical one. The second one is a fissure type volcano. A fissure means a huge crack on the surface of the earth. Huge cracks are developed on the surface of the earth from which the lava comes out. This hot lava is thrown out from these cracks or the fractures or fissures, and hence it is known as the fissure type of volcano. The types of volcanoes according to the periodicity. Periodicity means the period of eruption. The first one is active volcano. This is a volcano that erupts regularly, and so it is called as an active volcano. For example, Mount Fujiyama. The next is dormant volcano. The volcanoes that haven't erupted since long but may suddenly erupt any time. So these are known as dormant volcanoes. Example, Mount Vesuvius. And the third type is the extinct volcano. The extinct volcano means they have not erupted since a long time, and henceforth in future they are not going to erupt. So they are already extinct. So these are known as extinct volcanoes. Example, Mount Kilimanjaro. Now we have seen the volcano and their types. What are the effects of the volcanoes? First is the loss of life and property. As the volcanic ash spreads in the sky, the volcanic eruption, it spreads all over a large area. It covers a vast area, and whatever comes in its way is all burnt into ashes. Dust, smoke, ash, gases, water vapor remain in the atmosphere for a long time, and this may create imbalance in the environment. There are some good effects also, that is, the land becomes fertile due to the volcanic ash. As the lava comes out from the mantle. There are many minerals coming out from along with the lava, and these minerals are found on the surface of the earth after the lava cools down. Now here we can see some earthquake zones and volcanoes. Observe the world map carefully from your textbook also. Here you can see the plate boundaries. The lines joining the plate boundaries are shown here. Observe the figure carefully. You can see the volcanoes shown on these plate boundaries. In the index you will find a triangle shows the volcanoes. If you observe carefully, most of the volcanoes are found on the plate boundaries, the margins. That is where two plates are joining. This area is a weak area. The crust in this area is weak, and so the volcanic eruptions are found mostly in these areas. The assignment for this lesson. Read the lesson thoroughly and enjoy it. It is very interesting. Write important points in your notebook. This is your self-study. Complete question number 1, 3, 4, 7 and 8. All these are objective type of questions. And the next session I will give the answers to question number 2, 5 and 6, which are descriptive ones. Enjoy your studies. Stay home. Stay safe.